Coming into week 6, we already have certainly the biggest game of the year up to this point for the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers. Thursday night football. The San Francisco 49ers will be in Seattle for this game. And I got to tell you guys, I do not feel good about it as a Seahawks fan. And just the way that they looked last week against the New York Giants and how bad that game went. We're going to break down some of my biggest concerns going into this. Welcome into Gamefacesports. This is the first time I've posted in almost 2 weeks. I've taken a little break from the YouTube content. I'm going to get back into it full swing here. I'm working on a few things, thinking about kicking up my own sports show as well. I'm going to call it the Gamefacesports Show. So give me some time. I got some new stuff coming out, but I'm just kind of working through what I kind of want my channel to look like going forward and how I'm going to handle that. So be patient with me. And if you've been here and you're subscribed and you're a Seattle fan or just a sports fan in general, thank you. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The NFC West. Seattle still sits at the top of it right now at 3-2. Cardinals come in right behind them at 2-3. The 49ers come in behind them at 2-3. And then the Rams are 1-4. By no means is this division over by any stretch. I think any of these 4 teams could still potentially win it if they get on a hot streak. And clearly today's game, I mean, either Seattle's going to be 4-2 and have a good lead in the division here, or the Niners are going to win this one. And the division's going to be split between the two of them, with the tiebreaker going to the 49ers so far. And I understand that the Niners have had their own issues this season and they look just as shaky. They have injuries just like the Seattle Seahawks do. The Seahawks injuries are primarily on the defensive side of the ball, and we've seen how that has affected the team, especially if you go back and watch my first breakdown of the Seahawks team in game 1, week 1. The thing I was most impressed with the Seahawks was the tackling, especially the open field tackling. That first week, it felt like everybody got on the ball quickly. The first guy that got there made the tackle almost every play. There were no extra yards after catch. And since that point, the defense has absolutely gotten worse. It's totally regressed all the way down to the point where just tackles that got to be made and just playing good physical defense is taking a hit. And I think you saw that especially last week against the Giants when you got Daniel Jones running out in the open field, breaking tackles. Guys can't get him down. He's pushing for extra yards. The Giants still have a super talented offense. Let's just call it what it is. And yes, injuries play a factor into this, but not enough for you to be that bad. And if I were the 49ers, I think I would probably run the ball down the Seahawks' throat all game. It doesn't matter who the running back is. I believe it is Mason. Christian McCaffrey is out, thank God. But honestly, I don't think it really matters who the running back is. If you can't play good, hard, physical, first guy on the ball defense, it's going to be hard to stop anybody in the NFL. And then obviously when they have the run game set up, now you can throw the ball all over the field as well. Daniel Jones did. And they can dice you up on that end too, because you got to play for the run more. And that is what is so confusing to me about how Vegas is kind of looking at this game. The line is set at the San Francisco 49ers -3.5. And I know they've had their struggles. They've had their own issues, but I do think that there is a chance that this is a blowout. I hope I'm wrong, but I think there's a good chance that the 49ers offense, even with the injuries they've sustained this year, absolutely cooks the Seattle defense. I do think though, this is another game where the Seattle offense is going to have to carry you. It feels like that's going to be the case. And I don't know how that has changed so much from week 1, because I still really think this defense should be the strong suit from the Seattle team, regardless of injuries. I mean, even Witherspoon on the back end has been getting smoked on defense, and it is just not what I expected to see. Another thing to keep in mind, and maybe this is why the line is set at -3.5 right now, even though I think the Niners should be more heavily favored. The 49ers did lose their kicker, Jake Moody, and they have now signed Matthew Wright to a 1-year deal. Matthew Wright is a veteran. He's been in the league for a while. I think we can still expect him to be able to produce. I'm not sure how much you guys want to take points away from the 49ers for that. I'm not really sure it makes that much of a difference. Just my opinion. They're not bringing in a practice squad guy. They're not bringing in a rookie. This is someone who's kicked for a while. Things I would like to see the Seahawks at least try to do in this game. Kenneth Walker, he's got to get more touches. Got to get more touches, particularly in the red zone. If you're within the 5, 6, 7 yard line and you're on first down, I would like to see him get the ball at least twice in the red zone. I know it's boring football sometimes. Run the ball on 1st and 10. Run the ball on 1st and 10. See what Kenneth Walker can do. And the thing is about last week, part of me wonders if the reason why the Seahawks haven't given him as many touches lately is because he's kind of still nursing an injury and they're trying to protect him so they can have him later on into the season. That could be part of what's going on. But I think this is a game where if you're going to try to get him some more touches and you're going to try to establish a run, this is the game to do it. You're playing the Niners. You have a chance to keep a good lead in the division here. If we can establish the run and Geno gets a more open field to pass against, which, by the way, Geno has been cooking this year. He's actually done better than I even thought he was going to do. I never thought there was a quarterback controversy at the beginning of the season, but I've been very impressed with Geno. But it's only going to help that offense in the passing game if they can establish a run. You can argue Kenneth Walker might be the best offensive player on the team, so you got to put the ball in his hands. I would love to see that happen. Make smart decisions on offense. Take care of the football, DK Metcalf. No crazy fumbles. Don't be afraid, DK, to go down. If you're buried by 4 guys and you're trying to get a couple extra yards, just go down, man. Just go down. And in the pass defense and the secondary, the first guy on the ball got to make the tackle. No yards after the catch as best he can. They can do those things. They'll have a chance. But based on how I've seen them play, I don't think that's going to happen. If I had to bet money on this game, I would probably bet the 49ers. But as a Seahawks fan, I just can't find myself to do it. And going forward with my content, I will still be doing game breakdowns, both for the NFL and from the MLB. Probably some MLB playoffs coming up. I'm really looking forward to this Dodgers-Padres Game 5. That's going to be an amazing game. Those two teams seem to really hate each other. And I'll also be following along more with the Seahawks as well. Probably also some more game breakdowns. Likely after this game, I'll probably have a post-game reaction. If not tonight, probably sometime tomorrow. And again, keep an eye out for the Gamefacesports show. I am working on that right now. I want to make sure it looks as good and professional as I possibly can. It's going to be different than any other sports show you've seen. That's the one thing I am trying to make sure I do is I want to try to set myself apart a little bit from just the normal style of sports show content that you see. There's a million sports podcasts, there's a million TV shows, there's a million of those things, and I'm trying to make something that is entirely different. So keep an eye out when that comes out. I'll have my first episode coming up. Thank you to every single person that has subscribed, watched, commented, liked, everything. You guys are absolutely the best. I cannot wait to see how far this page can go. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in my next video. We'll see if the Seahawks can pull out a win here. Thank you.